Hi peeps, this is Mag back again. A little bit like the rack of aspirin tonight. Had a weird night, not much sleep, but I had a really great sleep this arvo, hence the bed hair, but I think I look kind of flash. Now, yes, we're back again. Last night we did messages from heaven, and I must honestly say it was an awakening thing for me. Last night's messages from heaven clicked so many bells. Hi Joe. That particular messages from heaven opened up a magical stream, but it set me to thinking about emotions, about how we process or actually don't process emotions, how we block the river of emotion. Hi Cheryl. And you know, peeps, we block that river of emotion. Hi, you know, last night was such an incredible emotional reaction where women across this country got together. Hi Sharon, hey babe, where the women and people of this country got together and held each other up and went, you know, sent hugs, sent love, sent that positive connection. It is the most wonderful thing that we are able to do for each other, is to be able to hold us up. Hi Amanda. Now, you know, I really sat and I thought about it for a long time last night, which is probably why I didn't sleep. It's like, you know, it was like the lady in Exmouth. Hi Carol, when her son died and she couldn't stop crying and people would cross the street to, you know, avoid her so they didn't have to deal with it. Hi Robin. And you know, the lady in Cairns, bless her heart, who has that same situation. What if we could uphold each other? What if we could allow that emotion? What if we could allow other women, other men, other people to have that emotion? You know, emotion is energy in motion. And after giving it considerable thought and thinking about it, you know, when someone is grieving or hurt or they've had whatever's gone wrong in their life, hi beautiful, and they are upset or they're crying, our taught response is to go, oh, you poor love, pat them on the back, it'll be all right, and talk away from the situation, bring them back into a place of where they're calm. Do we do that for them or do we do it for us? Do we do it because it's what they need, or do we do it because we're not comfortable with actually their expression of emotion? We're not taught to be comfortable or to allow others to express emotion. And, you know, we're taught, you know, this is an instant world. It's like get up, get on with it, move forward. It doesn't work because we are creatures of energy. And energy and emotion are the same thing. Yeah, I think we generally do it for us, darling. Energy and emotion are the same thing. If you look at energy as a river, it flows nicely. It keeps going. There are times when it is a raging torrent, and there are times when it's gentle. Our times of grief and our times of hurt, they need to be expressed. How many times have we, each and every one of us, swallowed our emotion, swallowed our hurt, swallowed our pain, packed it away neatly inside so we don't disturb others? What the hell do you think that does to us? It's like, hello, why are we doing this? I feel we need to find a way to come together in groups so that we can sit and cry, so that we can sit and release, so we can sit and discover the depth of the emotion. It's like when we keep putting something off and pushing it back and pushing it back and pushing it back, it will come out as something different. I am a prime example, an absolute prime example. I have pushed back my emotions every day of my life. I've gone where I've been like in a conflict, and I've closed. Everything's been closed. As a child, I decided very early that I wasn't going to cry, and I didn't. Caused me a hell of a lot of stress, let me tell you, physical, emotional, and everything, but I wasn't aware of it then. I'm aware of it now. I'm aware of the physical realities in the physical being caused by the emotion. So, you know, what if we could allow someone just to cry? What if we could just sit and go, I got you? What if we could just sit and hold a hand, not say anything, just let someone cry, just let someone scream, let someone throw things around, let someone get it out? What if we could do that? Wouldn't that be the most amazing thing? Seriously, I don't know how I'm going to do it, but across this country, I'm going to create circles where people sit and release, where they sit and examine their emotion and talk about it and let it out. Yes, that's brilliant. We need to do it. You know, death is one of the biggest things we don't talk about. We're not taught how to deal or how to process death. Now, I read something a couple of months ago which rang really big bells, and it said we suffer 3 deaths. 3 deaths. First, we have the physical, where we're gone, we've done our bit, we're going, yeah, bye, see you later. So with the first death, us that are here, we deal with that, oh my gosh, and we deal with the funeral and the letting go. Then we are expected to move on, to go forward. It's done. It's like finished. It's like, did I just plant a potato or a pot plant? Like, no. No, I didn't. It's like the first stages of death. The second stages of death is when people begin to move away from the reality of the person that's gone. They speak of them as my brother, Nana, Dad, baby, whatever. They're losing their personality. But the final death, the real death, is when no one speaks your name. Can you imagine that? That's your final death, when no one speaks your name. Now, in my connections with people, I'm gobsmacked, I tell you, about how many people do not know their family. Like when we do messages from heaven and people come through, they go, yeah, that was an uncle, don't know much about him. And when there's a lot of information coming through in a one-on-one session, it's like, no, I don't know much about them. What if we were to sit and tell our children the stories of our grandparents, the stories, hi Jenny, their day-to-day life? What if we were to keep them alive and make them a real? What if we were to keep the personality alive? What if we were to teach and share? What if we were to sit down and go through the heartbreak of actually losing someone? You know, when something's broke, you can mend it. When it keeps on breaking and breaking and breaking, where is the time to mend it? Yes, I understand, and I believe we are conditioned, we are taught, but I also believe we between us can find a better way. Like I said, I don't know how I'm going to do it, but I believe with the help of you guys and a lot of other people, we can create vision, we can create healing spaces, we can reach out. We can allow the people we love to cry. We don't need to be ashamed of our tears. We don't need to bury back our tears. It's like we need to find a way to let it flow. You know, like I said last night, my son died 51 years ago. He was 18 hours old, but he was my son. He was my son. And you know, that's who he is. He's my son. But I've made him real. He's got brothers. He's got a brother, he's got sisters, he's got uncles, he's got aunties, he's got family. And it's like I said last night, when still to this day, when I go to Boulder Cemetery and stand by his grave, this overwhelming emotion, it just flows out. And every time I bite it back, every time I hold it back, and it's like, I can do this. And I pick that, what I call strength, I pick it up and go on. But is it strength? Is it giving me strength? No, the hell it's not. It's not. Darling, you're allowed. It's like, I'm so glad you're actually interacting. This is what we're meant to be doing. We're meant to be passionate about life. We're meant to find ways together to resolve, to work, to move forward, to find a way to do things. You know, I'm working on a series of information, energy, knowledge, whatever you choose to call it, that I am being gifted, called the Path of Love. And I honestly feel these little streamings are part of the path of love. This is particularly part of the path of love. It takes deep compassion to sit with someone and just let them cry. And it doesn't matter whether that person's been gone 2 years, 10 years, 2 weeks, 20 years, or in my case, 51 years. The pain that we've swallowed over the years comes through. And yes, Carlene, we worry, we concern, are they at peace? Is this happening? Is this happening? If we can keep the person alive and vibrant in our lives, we understand that yes, they are there. And I truly believe with every fiber of my being that when we move into a place where we can accept and work with passing over, forget the death word, working with passing over, many, many more of us will be able to have that one-on-one connection from the other side. I feel, I honestly feel so deeply and so passionately about this, because our emotions can be positive. Our emotions can destroy us. We can build such a lot of energy into, I guess, denial. The minute we swallow back the emotion, are we denying the hurt? Are we doing something to damage ourselves? Look at emotion. Emotion has to flow. And if you think, sometimes your heart is so full with emotion, and not only sadness, happiness, joy, lots of emotions. Sometimes your heart is so filled with emotion, it runs down your face. And, emotion has to be released. It has to be let flow. The more we hang on to closing an emotion, not allowing it to flow, not allowing others to express that emotion. We all get angry, we all get hurt, we all get upset, we all miss somebody, we all break our hearts over things. We all spend that time beating ourselves up, and then the emotions all swallowed into the body. Everything's absorbed into the body. Yeah, we don't need to deny the fact we're going to die. We are going to die. What we need to do is prepare to embrace it. But what we need to do now is to allow and to encourage people to express their emotions. We need to, like this lovely lady who lost her son and is heartbroken. There needs to be people around her to support her, to allow her to cry when she wants to, when it's the right time. I did a Messages from Heaven, and a lady's son had passed, and it was during that Messages that I cried my heart out. And she said to me afterwards, and I knew they weren't my tears, and she said, Maggie, I haven't been able to cry yet. And then the tears flowed. It's like we We are here for each other. Yeah, Carleen, grief can cause us to feel body pain. Grief can knock us out. Grief can absolutely slam bang knock you out. And we go for years missing someone, but we don't talk about them. We don't share the stories. We don't share who they are with the family, with our friends. And so they know, oh, yeah, this one passed here, this one died here. But who were they? What were their dreams? What were their hopes? What was the person? We need to keep the person alive. I mean, for instance, my youngest brother died in a road accident, and most of what people know is Pat was killed in a car accident. Early January 1967, 13 years old, done. But what about Pat? Who was Pat? Pat was an amazing swimmer. Pat was an amazing singer. Pat was amazing at cricket. Pat had a weird, wonderful, wacky sense of humor. Pat had the biggest, bluest eyes. You see what I'm meaning? You family, if we don't know them, we need to have this interaction. We need to be able to keep the people. We need to prevent the final death when nobody speaks their name, when nobody knows who they are. You know, our stories are unique. Every one of us has an incredible, unique story, and it's ours. And that story is what we need to share with our families, with our children, with our grandchildren, with our great-grandchildren. You know, and looking at it, do you need to share the crap bits? Only if they're significant, because every one of us has ups and downs. But to hold emotion in the body is not good for us. It's like we don't stop loving someone because they died. We don't stop loving them. We don't stop missing them. We need to love them. We need to let that love flow for them. We need to let the tears flow. We need to go through that missing you. We need to say, look, I still love you. Hi, Mandy. We need to know the love is still there. We need to allow that love to flow. One of my special nephews, it's his anniversary tomorrow, bless his heart, Daniel. Daniel does have such a unique story, an unbelievable unique story. And I'm sad that I never really knew Daniel. I know the facts, I know what happened, but I never really knew Daniel. So I would be very grateful in the future to sit down with people who knew Daniel so that I could know Daniel. And this is what I would be interested or feel it's important for people to know, to sit down, to talk. If we can sit down and just share the memories, the sadness turns to the joy because we remember the good times. We go, wow. It's like there is a process to release the emotion. You know, your heart can only hold so much. Our hearts can only hold so much. When we can't cope, we go into overload. We shut down, we become depressed, we become unhappy. But death and loss are part of life. And whether that is the death of the physical person, or the death of a relationship, or the death of hopes, the death of dreams, it is still needed to be, I guess, just accepted. It needs to be recognized. It needs to have value. Whatever experience that we're going through, we need to give it value. We need to experience the emotions that attach to it, even if those emotions are anger. You know, when my second brother died, I was spitting angry, furiously angry, and I stayed angry for about 10 months. And then it all fell out one night. It all just fell out into a screaming drama performance. And yeah, you know, yes, I still hurt for my pet. I still miss my brothers. I miss the fact that I had two baby sisters I never got to know. I miss the fact that I never had a chance to sort things out with my dad. But I talk to him now and hope to the good Lord that he listens. I feel he does. I miss my four-legged one in particular. You know, he's been gone nearly 5 years now, and I still have that emotion, oh my God, whenever I think of him. So let's share our stories. Let's share our friendships. Let's keep the names of those we loved alive. Let's keep their memories alive. Let's share them so that like I said, our children, our grandchildren, our great-grandchildren know them as people. They don't need to be names on a piece of paper or names on a headstone. They need to know the feeling of the person. They need to know the personality. They need to know the good bits, the quirky bits, all sorts of bits that makes a person unique. Because each of us are an incredible, unique personality in our own right. Yeah. Oh, yeah, Carlene, you will miss him, darling. But you need to talk about it. You need to open that door to reality. The reality is he's gone on a journey and you will catch up with him at one stage. We just don't know when our ticket is. It's that simple and that hard. So let's see what we can do to help others spread this connection, to actually be able to work with opening this door, this path of love, this path of memory, so that we can actually do something. Yeah, you're right. The memorial rituals have become diluted. You know, the gypsy people, they would sit around a fire and they would tell the stories. They would tell the stories of how when someone passed, there was 3 days where people sat with them. Usually the coffin was in the house or the tent or wherever, and they would tell the stories of that person's life. It was a big thing. It was their life was celebrated. It wasn't a quick half hour, you've got to fit this time in here and now, thank you very much, get over it. It wasn't you walk away and you do it. I mean, all the old European countries, the women went into black, they went into mourning, men had their black armbands, and people left you alone. They allowed you to grieve. It didn't matter if you were tearing your hair out on the street corner, they went, they saw it for what it was, a process that that person was going through. You know, the gift of that time is amazing. It was a gift. The right to mourn was a gift, and it is still a gift. I feel the old ways had it, because, and when they were ready, they were ready. It didn't matter if they were never ready to stop mourning. They were gifted that right, and that it was a beautiful respect that was given to those at that time. And I feel if we can move into that time of respect, that area of respect where we can respect somebody's right to cry, to grieve, to pull the hair out if they need be, to cover themselves in sackcloth and ashes, to do whatever they need. You know, the Irish women of old used to sit and keen, they called it keen, it sounds pretty much like screaming, but it would come and it would go on for hours or days, this screaming, this keening, but it was done. It was done. It wasn't like, you know, okay, bye, see you later, service is over, you've had your half hour, you can have a cup of tea and get on your way. In today's society, when we finished that service, it's done. There's no support. Yes, there's family support, but we don't know how to do it. And we know we've got to get, and sometimes we have 2 or 3 days and we're back to work. And it's like, what? It doesn't work like that. You know, when we don't process the love, when we don't process what's happening, and the emotions go inside, they're heartbreaking, they cause us problems. It's just the way. We need to take back our power. We need to take back the control. We need to release the control. And we need to let go of not being able to cry. They do. I've heard a lot of the indigenous people of this land, they just let it rip. And I just feel we should just let it rip. You know, and sometimes we're just plain angry at somebody because they've gone up and died. And, you know, it's all right to scream and shout and like, why the hell did you leave me? It's like that has to come out as well. It's like, it's not all sunshine and roses. Grief and emotion are powerful. They're hard. They're harsh. They flatten you. So maybe when someone we know or we bump into somebody and the tears start to flow, maybe we just let them. We just let them do it. We give them a hug or we go, you're right, let it go. We just let them do it. And when the people are allowed to express their grief, it's okay. It's okay. You know, most of us, we go to a funeral, say Friday, Monday we're back at work. Same, no change. Nothing's changed. We're back at work. We struggle through. We swallow back the emotion and on we go. And we go through weeks and maybe months. And then there comes a massive big crack because everything has to blow up. And it's those blow-ups that are destructive because you haven't had the time to, you've built it up. It's in your heart. Your emotions flow through your heart. They're very important. So let's get together, and next time we want to express emotion, or it's happening, or don't stop the tears. Don't stop yourself crying. Don't stop yourself hurting. Don't stop yourself being angry. Don't stop yourself being frustrated. Go with it. Go with it. Follow it through. Let that river of emotion flow. And next time you think of someone, like, say you've lost someone, and it's like, oh, it's somebody's anniversary today. Share a memory. Share a memory. Bring some wonderful memory of that person to life and share it. And if that brings you sadness and you cry, then so be it, because that's what's meant to be. And, you know, there are so many people in this day and age that suicide is one of our biggest things, and we don't talk about it. We go, oh yeah, but if you were to remember the person behind it, don't remember the suicide. That was a one quick decision somebody made. We've all made quick decisions that have been disastrous. Think of the person. Think of the good things. Think of the things they did when they were happy. If there was somebody who was totally, absolutely depressed beyond repair in this world, there is always something wonderful that's happened in their life. There's always the gift they've given someone. There's always the peace they've given someone. There's always the joy they've given someone. Like the youngest suicide I've had come through in a Messages from Heaven was 11, and he was in Carnarvon. And he came through to a lady there, and he actually went to school with her. And he came to her because she'd given him a pencil. Isn't that the saddest thing that you've ever heard? I was in tears. She gave him a pencil, and that was the most important thing in his life. And for that, he stayed with her and came and thanked her for that. So everybody has a little thing or something that has been gifted us. We need to remember that. We need to remember the gift. Okay, I need to stop, although I'll be babbling on until tomorrow morning. Now, tonight is Tuesday night. It's our healing night. The group is over. We will be adding to the healing pot. Tomorrow night is Wednesday night. We will be doing an online healing where I will teach you some processes. Tomorrow we'll be working with releasing the cords. So join me at 6 o'clock and we'll do some processes, and we will do a healing channeling. So thank you for listening to me, and thank you for putting this in your mind so that we can start this ball rolling, so that we can start the ball rolling. And whoever of you are drawn to create groups, circles, whatever, where you come together and discuss somebody's life or somebody's joy, please do it. Please do it. Please reach out and help each of us to work, to share, to actually open the doors of love, okay? We got this. Good night, darlings. Thank you so much. Oops, I've lost the mouse. I'm very good at losing the mouse.